Yeah. All right, we are on. So, welcome to another amazing episode of Luxury Unplugged Podcast. Today, we again are hosting Raul Perea. He's a leadership coach, a Latino leadership coach, and he talks about behavior first coaching. So excited, Raul, for this conversation.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to get into it.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us, this is going to be a rapid fire
Sure.
question and answers round. So let's understand about leadership and self mastery. How do leaders transform self doubt into confident decision making, let's say in high stakes environment?
That's a very good question, but really it just becomes self-awareness. If you're not aware of what's triggering you and how you're showing up, then you're
Hmm.
not going to show up fully and holistically for your employees, and you're going to just default to old bad behaviors. So
Right.
self-awareness.
Right. So can you share an example where behavior first leadership dramatically shifted a team's culture for you?
Yes, I worked with one leader who she kept rescuing her team and avoiding hard conversations. So once she began to address the elephant in the room, things shifted for her.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think so many high achievers are really playing small?
Well, it's
Internally or externally, whatever way that it looks to you.
I think really what it is just not trusting themselves and not having the confidence to move beyond it. I think the biggest issue has been we get captivated by overthinking. And I tell everybody, just take one small action, one day at a time. That's that's better than just overthinking because confidence follows action. It's not the other way around.
Right. Okay, beautiful. So awareness and action taking.
Hmm.
Two nuggets so far. So what do most first-time CEOs or founders discover about themselves when they slow down or perhaps when they start looking inwards? What is your opinion? What happens?
And just to unpack this self-awareness, I think once they appreciate that they have old stories that they've been carrying themselves, sometimes those old stories reinforce the self-doubt or reinforce the lack of confidence. And perhaps that old story was a harsh criticism right before they entered the bigger rooms. So once they have that light bulb moment and they say, you know what? I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to stop letting that old story drive me and I'm going to show up.
Okay. So, Rahul, when you take somebody through a leadership coaching per se, what are the key elements of your coaching in that? What do you start off with and what do you end with?
Sure. Well, the first one is really having envisioning who you want to become as a leader. And
Mm-hmm.
then I go through my framework of, well, before we how we achieve that greater awesome vision is by unpacking the bag we carry. And the bag stands for the beliefs, assumptions, and the guardians. The guardians are the protective patterns. And once we go through a series of tools and coaching weekly coaching calls, people and the leaders are able to say, oh, okay, so I need to start understanding what limiting beliefs I had and
Mm-hmm.
how I can uh, squash those beliefs because they're just based on old assumptions and I'm really just in survival mode, for example. And now I can release that old story or that old baggage and start moving towards a better future self identity.
Right. Beautiful. So, according to you, you start building up the identity, belonging, and authenticity the moment they start talking about their envisioning their process of being where they want to be.
Mhm.
And how is that, how long is that process? Does it take, it's a fixed duration do you work on, or how do you go about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I think that there's a couple of things too. I have a what do you call it, like a tiny challenge, a small challenge. It's a 5 day challenge when we begin to start identifying some of those beliefs. And I challenge people, how much can you transform yourself within 5 days? And it's a free challenge. And once we go through that process of discovery, then we move on to, and that's a free challenge. It's something that I do. Then we move to a paid program, which can be anything from 8 weeks to 12 weeks to even 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how massive the goal is and how much support they're looking for.
Right, right. So, in terms of the baggage that you talk about,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the things that helped you, get outside your baggage and perhaps some of those things which you are helping other people come out of?
Yeah, I'm going to share two tools with two ideas or concepts with you that are very powerful. The first one is as we're going through the process of unpacking your bag or the baggage, I challenge people to stop having a victim mentality and look at that that this trauma or experience didn't happen to you but happened for you. And once they realize, like, oh, I get to decide how I interpret that experience, it's very liberating. And the other one is I flip the script on people who believe that, oh, I must have this PhD or this certification to become the leader I want to become. I say, nope, let's flip the script. It's be, do, have. Be the person you want to become, right? Envisioning. And then you start acting from that future, do, and then you have the success, the beautifulness, the leadership skills. It's really just the reverse of that. So it's the first one is um, it happened for me, not to me. And then the next one is be, do, have.
Beautiful, beautiful, Raul. So, in terms of, can you give us one case study of such sort where you've helped somebody, come through their traumatic experience, and then you switched the equation for them because you made them understand that it is happening for you, not happening to them.
Yes, yes, great. Well, one recent one. Well, first, I actually use myself as the case study because I don't want to ever teach any of my concepts just from theory, but it's from a lived experience. So it's based
Mhm.
on positive psychology and my own experiences. So I was able to reframe my upbringing, childhood traumatic from growing up with an alcoholic father. So that's like one example. The other example with an actual client has been with one woman who's a beautiful leader of a nonprofit organization. And she had so much anxiety on how to show up online, for example, and how to be able to tell her story or the story of the organization. So once we started to unpack, well, her image and her and her story and how she went about showing up, she began to gain more confidence in taking those small little steps and saying, you know what, it's really about the story of my nonprofit and I'm just the steward of that. Once she realized that she was just the steward, that the mission was bigger than any self-doubt, then she was really able to start flowering and just telling the story of the organization and attracting funders. And it just really took off. And I think I'm very proud of what she's accomplished so far because the nonprofit is thriving at this moment for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful, Rahul. Well, that is just wonderful. And this sort of, brings together the entire leadership discussion that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have with you, because this is going to be, this is a rapid fire question and answers. And we pretty much got all our answers regarding leadership transformation and inner critique and self-trusting and stuff like that, and identity shifting as well. So thank you so much, Rahul, for today's timing. And you're already live on YouTube, so
Okay.
go ahead and check it out, and we shall see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you for
Awesome,
having me.
thank you, bye bye.
Bye bye.
I will have to.